And we're joined now after that temporary break by Dustin Lockwood, one of the goalies on the NYU team. Had the first shutout for the NYU team yesterday during a 9-0 victory against UPenn. The first shutout in was it 3 years?
Yeah, close to it.
And I mean that's a pretty nice achievement to have, huh? What do you think about that? How did you feel you played yesterday?
You know, I thought I played good, but at the same time, the team played great in front of me. I mean, it was probably one of the slower games that I played in, and sometimes those games are tough to play as a goalie because, you know, you're only going to face a shot every few minutes, so it's, you know, it's tough to stay in the game and consistently, you know, it's tough to keep your edge, but I mean, the team played well in front of me and limited the shots, so, I mean, they made it easy on my part, so.
You're a bit of an interesting case as a goaltender because, as I've heard, you came here as a defenseman originally. Now,
yeah.
had you played goaltender at all before you got here, or was it like a position you picked up recently after you got here?
No, I'd always originally played goalie. I mean, started playing hockey around the time I was about 7 or 8 years old, and probably played goalie for 8, 9 years, and then started playing forward when I was, you know, 16 years old. Played it for about 5 years, and just recently got back into it at the end of last year.
And I guess, do you have a preference where you're playing? Do you prefer goalie or?
You know, I love both. I love playing both. I mean, they're so different. I mean, goalie, you know, you're in the entire 60 minutes, but at the same time, you might not be involved in the action the entire 60 minutes. But, you know, when you do need to be involved, you know, everything's relying on you. You're the last line of defense, whereas, you know, if you're playing defense or forward, you know, your parts are, you know, far more increment, and, you know, it's a completely different style of game almost. It's almost 2 separate games.
As a goalie, I know following some of the NHL goalies in the past, some goalies like a lot of action. Like I remember Rick DiPietro before he became like a bionic man with all the surgeries he had. He was a goalie who liked a lot of action, liked to be involved in the game a lot. Are you that type of goalie, would you say?
You know, I think I am because you can get into just kind of like a groove, and if you get comfortable out there, I mean, you almost stop thinking, and you just completely focus on the task at hand. I mean, some of my favorite moments on the ice are when the puck is completely in our zone and it's just moving around, because I can just kind of get in a groove moving back and forth, and I mean, you just get into a groove to where you can see what the other team is doing, and you know what they're trying to get to be able to do towards you, and I mean, you can just, you know, read and react to that, and I mean, that's a lot easier than, say, a game like yesterday where, you know, you're only facing a shot every 4 or 5 minutes, and so it's, you know, kind of, you almost have to make sure you don't get bored down there.
Yeah, I see. You've got to be in that groove. You got to kind of keep your mental focus. Is it tough to keep that mental focus sometimes when you're not busy?
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, just like yesterday, there were, I mean, two times I can remember specifically where, I mean, you know, you're just sitting down there at 1 second, and then there's a turnover on the far blue line, and you have to come out, and there's a breakaway. And I mean, you go from maybe not doing anything for a couple of minutes to all of a sudden it's a breakaway. So you have to immediately be ready and, you know, constantly, you know, be on your edge. So.
Let me ask you about, I guess, the relationship of the team, and with just everybody kind of around the team. Because something I've noticed, I've been following you guys for about a week now, for another project I'm doing, and I noticed that you guys just seem like a very close-knit group, a very tight team, and it really, from every single player, kind of seems to get along with everyone else. I don't know, what kind of ties you guys together? How are you guys able to get along so well? What would you say?
I mean, playing hockey for 13, 14 years, there's just something about hockey players that, I mean, I've played other sports, but there's something about hockey players that, you know, it's just a relaxed environment. Everyone's out there, they're having fun, and I mean, we're starting to jam this year, and I mean, out there on the ice, you can see it. I mean, we've scored 42 goals in the last 6 games, and that's kind of been a part of the fact that we're gelling off the ice and we're gelling on the ice, because, you know, you start coming together as a team off the ice, and, you know, that's going to show once you hit the ice. So.
Actually, well, Dustin, you got the week off, got some chance to rest, and then you go up to Harvard. You'll probably get one game that weekend, one of the two, or?
I don't know. You have to talk to Coach.
I should have asked him when I had him before. My bad. Poor journalism on my part. Nonetheless, Dustin, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.